Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but haven't subscribed yet, well, come on, it's Christmas. Subscribe. Join the Knicks-Verse party here. We got some interesting stuff for you tonight. This is it's a recap of the LA trip, combined with the Clippers and the Lakers, mostly focusing on the Lakers game, and something very, very special. I have my son. He did some data mining for you guys to show you the correlation between assists and wins, to explain why the Knicks win and why the Knicks lose. We may have found some interesting nuggets to explain all that, and maybe who possibly should be more of a primary facilitator on this team. Interesting. All right, but first, let's get to the recap. Here we go. The Knicks took care of the crypto split. That's right. They came to LA. They faced the Clippers on Saturday. And unfortunately, that was the second game of a back-to-back that followed the very intense, highly emotional win over the Phoenix Suns on Friday night, where Mr. Brunson gave us 40 points. 50 points. What am I talking about? 50 points. Outstanding. And it was a bit of a drop-off, especially defensively. Defensively against those Clippers, Knicks just didn't have it. They got lit up for, 144 points or something like that? Well, totally different than what they were against the Lakers. They were out on the perimeter. They were bodying guys up. They were being incredibly physical. I got to listen to the Lakers commentators, and the tremendous amount of respect that they have for the Knicks is really interesting. Because I think out there in the Knicks world, the Knicks Twitter, we have this impression that people don't really respect our team. Well, that is totally not the case, because, being in LA, I am forced to listen to other announcers from time to time, and you really hear their understanding of why the Knicks are where they are and how much of a threat they actually can be. They came through last night, 114-109, and basically this guy, I'm highlighting him out first because 17 rebounds. He didn't start the game. Sims only played 3 minutes. He played the rest of the center minutes. 39 minutes, Isaiah Hartenstein. 17 rebounds. Fantastic for him. He was all over the place, diving for balls. Outstanding game for him. He, honestly, we miss Mitch, of course, obviously, but he did a great job of impersonating Mitch last night. The next guy is Jalen Brunson. 50 points Friday. 27 against the Clippers here, 29 against the Lakers. Excellent. Four rebounds, 3 assists, and man, did he hit some big, timely buckets once again. His three-point shooting is outstanding right now. He's off the charts, and we got data on all of that. We have nice stats, basically looking at like the first quarter of the season, a little over that, and then we analyze what those stats mean. We'll get to it, but this guy came to Los Angeles. Julius Randle, an ex-Laker. He battled against LeBron, did an amazing job, actually. I mean, there were a few moments there was a little frustrating, and also Thibs played him for almost 20 minutes straight in that first half, and when he sat at around the 4-minute and 39-second mark, and also LeBron sat, the Lakers went on an 18-6 run to finish the half up by 1 point. At that moment, you start sweating. I started sweating, started thinking, oh no, is this going to happen? Are they just going to collapse? They're going to let the Lakers take this in the fourth quarter? Well, that's not what happened. That's not what happened, and I'm pleased and happy to say that the Knicks came through in that third quarter, took them down. So right here you can see the stats, 43 minutes for Julius Randle on 12 of 22 shooting, 14 rebounds for him, 27 points. Beautiful. 3 assists. Jalen Brunson, as I mentioned, 10 of 21, 3 of 6 from the three-point line, 29 points. He was game high. And the next guy who got 20 points was Immanuel Quickley. In 29 minutes, 8 of 15, 3 of 7 from the three-point line, 3 rebounds and 2 assists, gave us 20 points. And also something awesome happened. He closed this game. He was on the court with Brunson for the intense moments of the fourth quarter when the game could tip either way. And the Lakers made it. I keep wanting to say Clippers. The Lakers, they really made this a game towards the end. So much so that Anthony Davis hit a 3-point shot that cut the lead down to, like, I think just 2 points at that time. And I was sweating, man. I was sweating. But guys like Immanuel Quickley came through, and his defense can't beat. I mean, we can't talk enough about it. Yes, Austin Rivers did hurt us offensively, but he got hurt. I mean, the Knicks hurt him. They actually targeted him, went after him, and that's how they were able to light him up for those 114 points. Isaiah Hartenstein, as I mentioned, 39 minutes, 3 of 4, 9 points for him and 17 rebounds. RJ Barrett, his stats don't look good. 3 of 10, 0 for 2 from the three-point line, but it gave us 5 rebounds and 4 assists. He was the Knick with the most assists against the Lakers last night. And that actually ties into what we're going to be discussing later about assists and how much of an impact they have on winning and the supporting data, because a lot of people think that assists come from guys who just make their buckets. Well, we have data to show that's not necessarily the case. All right, let's keep on going here because I'm trying to race through this. The plus minus, as you can see, I mean, Randall was a plus 17, outstanding. Hartenstein a plus 15, Quickley plus 7, Grimes a plus 4. Though Grimes had a couple nice moments there, but really just 1 for 4 overall, 1 of 3 from the three-point line. Not an effective offensive game, but defensively he always brings it. Outstanding for him. Let's get to the Lakers here. Anthony Davis, look at that, 14 of 22, 32 points. LeBron James, 10 of 23, 25 points. LeBron struggled a bit. Look, 2 of 8 from the three-point line, but still gave the Lakers a triple-double and put them in a situation to almost win this game. The next one is, like I mentioned, Austin Reeves. What did I say? Did I say Austin Rivers before? I meant Austin Reeves. He needed 15 bucket attempts to give you 20 points, hit 3 of 7 from the three-point line. 2 boards, 7 dimes for him. He's a good player, but defensively, he is a liability. Interesting to see how this progresses as the season moves on. The Knicks shot 47.7% overall. The Lakers shot 42.4%. There will be no highlights. Sorry, I should have brought that up earlier. There will be no highlights for this. The game already happened. I mean, you guys saw it, probably highlights already. We're trying to focus on the recap and the little bit of nice data mining that we got for you. The Knicks won the rebounding battle, 52-41, and the free throw battle. Look at that. The Knicks went to the charity stripe 23 times, connected on 20. The only one to miss free throws was Isaiah Hartenstein, who missed 3. That's it. Everyone else hit all of their free throw attempts, 87% for them. Lakers, they hit 92.3%, but they only took 13 attempts. So one of the key things that the Knicks do is they don't foul as often as other teams, and they don't turn the ball over. So they don't give easy buckets to the opponents. On nights when they are giving easy buckets, those are nights when they're going to lose. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Fast break points, Lakers were a plus 4 there. We're pretty even. The turnovers, 16. We committed 16 turnovers. They only committed 10. So that's actually kind of contrary to what I was talking about before in this particular case. But when you got a team that's missing their 3-point shots, they only hit 13 of 41. We weren't that outstanding ourselves. We were 10 of 30, but really the free throws were the big difference. So you can see the fouls pretty much even, 16-17. However, we got them into the bonus early a couple of times. So this was a tremendous win for the Knicks. I mean, it can't be understated. They're 15-11. They went 2-2 on the West Coast road trip. Part of this road trip, they finished the game up, the road trip in Brooklyn, back home, but in Brooklyn on tomorrow night, Wednesday. Let's see if they can pull that win off. They'll finish 3-2 on this road trip, and anyone would have signed up for that from the very, very beginning. All right, now we're going to talk numbers. Let's get to it. Okay, well, now we're going to get into the juicy part of this video. Let's go. All right, what you're looking at here are the statistics of the rotation players broken out between the wins and the losses. The top row right there is the wins. The bottom row, losses. The columns that are above Jalen Brunson's head are the differentials. And I'm highlighting the points differential, the field goal percentage differential, the 3-point percentage differential, the rebound differential, and the assist differential. They're all connected, and we're going to show you exactly how. Here we go. So when it comes down to points differential in wins, the most significant three players are Randall, Barrett, and Josh Hart. Each of them are 2+ points more in wins than they are in losses. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but in its aggregate, they are. Right there, it's basically 7 points. 7 points is a huge swing, especially when you consider Jalen Brunson is almost even. He is so consistent, and this is the best argument for him being a superstar. This makes him a superstar because he gives you a narrow band of excellence. His variance isn't that great. He'll have games of 21, 22, 23, 24, and then he'll have a 40. Then he'll have a 50. Then he'll have a 38. But he keeps constantly giving you production, high-level production. But his wins, he averages 26 points a game, and his losses, he averages 25.1 points per game. So it's a 0.9 swing right there. Quickley, 1.4. That is significant as well as Dante DiVincenzo, 1.4. So in wins, the players obviously are going to score more points because it's a win. So that's kind of no-brainer, right? But as you move further on down, field goal differential. Look at Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo. They are shockingly different when it comes to wins and losses. Josh Hart averages 16.3% better in wins, and Dante DiVincenzo is 15.2% better. Josh Hart shoots 52.9% in wins, and in losses, he shoots 36.6%. Now, Dante DiVincenzo, 51% in wins. In losses, 35%. So it's a huge swing right there. When those guys are connecting and they're on, the Knicks are very tough to beat. Very tough to beat. But also, look at Randall up there, 9.5. I looked at 10 points, a 10 percentage point swing as like the threshold before I would bold it and make it significant, but really 9.5 is incredibly significant. Now, Brunson, 6.8. That's a nice swing. Quickley, 5.2. RJ Barrett, 6.9. So all those guys, and then you look at Mitch Robinson, of course. In wins, Mitch shoots 10%, almost 11% better than he does in losses. But as we move further to the right, the three-point differential, let me make this larger for you guys. All right, here we go. So now 3-point differential. This is obviously higher, more swings because when guys just don't have it one night, they can go 0 for 6, 0 for 9, and that's going to severely impact their field goal percentage. So, and usually when they're missing, putting up goose eggs, that amounts to losses. That's like pretty basic, right? So Randall's a 10.1% swing when they win. Brunson is insane. Brunson shoots 57% when the Knicks win. When we lose, Brunson shoots 28.4%. There is a direct correlation between Jalen Brunson hitting his threes and winning right there. So right there, that is a key factor. That is a key stat right there. When Brunson hits his threes, the Knicks win. So anytime we see Brunson going like 0 for 3 or 1 for 4 in that first half, 1 for 5 or whatever, you can start sweating a little bit and thinking maybe this is not a game we're going to pull off unless one of the other guys come through like a Dante DiVincenzo. Look at him. 14.5% swing when in 3-point shots when he's on. Knicks win. RJ Barrett is the same, 11.3. So Randall, Brunson, and RJ, you can throw Josh Hart as well in there because he's a 9.6. Now Quickley, interestingly enough, in wins and losses, almost the same. In wins, he averages 37.2%. In losses, he averages 36.7%. So the 4 key guys, actually 5, I'm going to throw Josh Hart in there as well. And obviously, I mean, that's a no-brainer again, right? So you're like, George, why is this so important? Let me keep going. Rebounding differential. Now that one is pretty much even. I'm not really going to focus on that, but now the assist differential. And then I'm going to bring my son in who's going to explain what this means. He has this data that's really fascinating, and I'm sure you guys are going to dig it, and I'm going to come back to this. So let's go to him now.
Hey everybody, this is Dylan Esguerra. I'm going to be talking to you about some Knicks statistics. Let's take a look at how our top players' assists influence our chances of winning. So what I kind of have summarized here is the correlation of our top players getting an extra assist or getting an assist with our chances of winning. Here we can see that RJ Barrett, followed by Julius Randle and Immanuel Quickley, are our top contributors in terms of how influential their assist is to us getting a win. We can see here that this correlation column, anything positive is them getting an assist is a positive contributor to us getting a win. And we can see that the two highest are RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. And they are highest by a pretty significant margin, followed by IQ. Then after that, we have a couple of guys that are more kind of neutral on whether or not their assists are super beneficial for us winning. Those are Dante, Josh Hart, and interestingly, Jalen Brunson, and Quentin Grimes. And then we have two people who actually have negative influence of them getting assists to us winning. The other thing to be aware of here is the p-value column. This is a statistical measure that tells you what's the probability that correlation we're getting would occur due to just randomness. So the idea here is a lower p-value means it's more trustworthy. So you see that this RJ and Julius Randle, they're high correlations, also very low p-values, meaning that those are trustworthy statistics, not just random coincidence. But then you can see that the negative ones, like our centers there, having assists be negative towards us winning, those are not as high p-values. They're probably just kind of random coincidence. And then a lot of our more neutral correlation players like Dante, Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, those also have higher p-values, meaning it's less certain. They're more consistent. We can't really say as much about their assists effect on winning. But the biggest insight here is RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Immanuel Quickley, their assists have a high correlation to us winning, meaning we need to have them be in positions to get more assists. The next thing we have here is same tracking of assists and that relationship to winning. This is another way to look at it in terms of how an extra assist by one of our players affects your odds ratio, so your odds of winning. You can see here that RJ Barrett, the odds ratio effect is 2.2, meaning that him getting one more assist actually doubles your chances of winning. That is a very significant factor. You can see also by the p-value there that that's another trustworthy statistic. IQ and Julius Randle, their odds ratio of 1.6 means you have a 60% higher chance of winning when they score another assist. That's also very, very good. For this statistic, something that's closer to 1 is kind of just neutral. It means your chances of winning kind of stay the same when they get an extra assist. That's this Dante, Quentin Grimes, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson scenario. So Brunson having this value is not necessarily a bad thing. Personally, I think it's just a consistency thing, which is good for our star point guard, meaning he's getting similar amount of assists in our wins and our losses. And then something lower than 1, those are our two centers again, like we saw earlier with the negative correlation. These actually decrease your chances of winning as them getting more assists. So that's my insight for looking into the relationship between assists and winning from our main players. I think that the biggest insight here is RJ Barrett. His assists really, really matter. He should be in a facilitating role.
Okay, so you just heard my son explain that when RJ is put in a more facilitator role, the Knicks win, and by pretty dramatic percentages. So here, Randle Randle as well. Randle, Quickley, and RJ are the key players for in terms of assists impact directly correlating to wins. Randle, when we win, Randle averages 6.1 assists per game. When we lose, he's down to 4.1. Seems pretty obvious, right? Because he's trying to maybe hero ball it more. Then you're thinking, wait, no, George, that maybe just guys aren't hitting their shots, right? You're saying that when the Knicks lose, guys like Dante and Josh Hart and RJ, they shoot a lot worse. True. That is true. But the next slide is going to change everything for you. Get ready. This is the assists to wins correlation chart. Right there. 15 wins. Look at the passes. 282.2 passes is what the Knicks average in their wins. They only average 263.6 in their losses. That's an 18.6 differential. And look at the assists. The assists in wins, they average 26.2, which is close to the desired mark of 27, is where they should be to be a top-level team, a contending team. They need to be up to 27. Well, when they win, they act like one. they share the ball, 26.2%, 26.2 assists in those games. In the losses, they're down to 20.5 for a differential of 5.7. And look at the secondary assists. That is the hockey assist. In hockey assists, in wins, they're up to 4.1. In losses, they're down to 2.8. That's a swing of 1.3. Assist points created. Look at this. 67.9 points created from assists compared to in losses, 51.4. That's a swing of 16.5. That is dramatic. That's the swing between a win and a loss. And now the field goal percentage in wins, the team averages almost 50% from the field. In losses, they're down to about 42%. That's almost an 8-point swing in field goal percentage from wins to losses. Three-point percentage is even more dramatic. They average 43.2% in wins and 30.8% in losses. That's almost a 12.5 percentage point swing. Now, what does this mean? Why am I saying what I'm saying? Well, it's pretty clear when you look at this that when the ball moves more, they get higher percentage shots, which correlates to higher percentage makes, which correlates to more points, which correlates to wins. It's pretty simple. And the guy that needs the ball, that needs to start being more facilitator on this team is RJ. One of the things in that beginning of the season, those first 8 games or so, I can't remember how many they were, but like 8 games when he was just leveling up, he was amazing. One of the amazing things he was doing was distributing the ball at the right moments. He wasn't pushing it. He wasn't forcing it. He wasn't getting blocked as often as you guys can remember. Now, maybe he's lost a little bit of his step, a little bit of his conditioning from the migraines. He couldn't do much, but you know what? There's been enough games since. He should be getting back to it, so I'm hoping he will. But look at this. This is proof that the key to winning for the Knicks is sharing the ball more. That is the key. If they can average like over 280 passes per game, it will translate into 26 to 27 assists per game, which will translate into higher shooting percentages. It's just no brainer. This is the key right here. So this is the thing that the Knicks have to start doing all the time. It can't be like, oh, we're going to go away from it and do ISO ball for a little while here and there. No. Of course, there's always a time for ISO ball. There's always a moment for that. But if this team wants to be a serious team that can win, it needs RJ, Randall, and Quickley to start sharing the ball more. And then when it comes to Quickley, it's pretty obvious, guys. It's pretty obvious, especially when you look at, all right, this here. When you look here, Quickley, Randall, RJ, and Brunson need to be the starting 5 while Mitch is on the sidelines. That just has to happen right there. I mean, there's no reason to do it any other way. The data's there. I'm sure Thibs has this data for him. So let's see if he'll finally make this move. All right. Woo. Thank you guys for watching this. Again, my name is George. That was my son, Dylan. Thank you guys for watching this. We appreciate it. I want to hear your comments. Drop your comments and hit the thumbs up button for us and subscribe. And I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.